Ford versus Ferrari. It's also kind of Damon versus Bale for the Oscar. Ford vs. Ferrari is directed by James Mangold and stars Matt Damon and Christian Bale. Ford vs. Ferrari is based on a true story of Carroll Shelby being chosen by the Ford Motor Company to build a car capable of beating Ferrari in the 1966 Le Mans race. Behind the wheel of Carroll Shelby and Ford's creation is the fearless, albeit slightly stubborn Ken Miles, played by Christian Bale. Together they will fight time, the laws of physics, and each other to challenge Ferrari at their own game. Now, going into this movie, I was really excited because I'm a huge car guy and a big fan of Carroll Shelby. So my expectations were pretty high. Now, did this movie live up to my fanboy hype? Well, let's answer that by first talking about the good. So to start off, a huge positive I take away from this movie is the characters. Both Carroll Shelby and Ken Miles' characters are written great and acted phenomenally by Damon and Bale. These two actors brought so much life to their respective roles. I'm a huge Carroll Shelby fan, and Damon captured the personality and charisma of him perfectly. In addition, Bale's performance was really captivating. He starts out as just this stubborn, roughneck racer, but as the movie progresses, you see much more depth to his character, and he has a very satisfying character arc. In addition, the racing sequences, oh my gosh, the racing sequences, they're heart-pounding. The racing sequences in this movie are some of the best I've ever seen, period. This movie doesn't just show you cars driving fast. The movie captures the man versus machine element of racing, and it's done so well. From the score to the camera work, the sound effects, Christian Bale's performance, the editing, it all just comes together to create some of the best racing sequences I've ever seen. With that said, I do have one nitpick about this movie, so let's get into the bad. So the nitpick I have about this movie is some of the scenes between Ken Miles and his family. Now don't get me wrong, I enjoyed most of them. Most of them are effective. However, there were a couple scenes I felt were a little out of place. One scene in particular, I won't spoil it, but the scene is between Ken and his wife, and yeah, it felt a little out of place in the movie. I think a simple rewrite of that scene would have helped it. But overall, Ford vs. Ferrari is an amazing movie. I had a great time with this movie. While I do take slight issue with a couple of scenes between Ken Miles and his family, it doesn't change the fact that this is an amazing movie, and probably my favorite racing movie of all times. Ford vs. Ferrari gets an A+. I really enjoyed this movie, and you don't have to be a racing fanatic like me to enjoy it. It truly is a wonderful movie. As I joked before, this movie is Damon and Bale competing for the Oscar. Who would I pick? If you'd have tapped me on the shoulder in the middle of this movie, I would have said Damon. But if you'd asked me at the end, I would have said, maybe Bale actually. They both did a phenomenal job. I guess if I had to choose, I'd say Damon, but not by much. They both did great. But thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and follow me on social media. And if you have seen Ford vs. Ferrari, tell me what you think. Are you Team Damon or are you Team Bale? I'd like to know who you'd have given the Oscar to. I had a great time reviewing this movie. Please stay tuned for future content.